All right, kindergarten friends, it's Miss Nestrick, and it is time to talk about color. So we've already talked about the first two elements of art, which are like the ingredients to make a beautiful picture or a beautiful painting. Our elements of art are what we put together to make sure that we have everything to make a good piece of art. So our first two elements of art are line and shape, and we've already talked a lot about those this year. So our next element is color. And you might think, Miss Nestrick, I know all of my colors. I even know them in English and Spanish. But do you know everything about color? I don't think so, not quite yet. So what we're gonna do is talk about color. So what you'll need are some water and a paintbrush, a piece of paper, red, yellow, and blue washable markers. Make sure, friends, that you have Crayola or Crazy Art, Rose Art, some sort of washable markers. Don't use Sharpies, they won't work for this. So you need washable markers, red, yellow, and blue, piece of paper, and then either a paper towel or a coffee filter. If you have been in school, I probably sent you a coffee filter home with you. Your parents might have coffee filters, but you probably have paper towels at your house, and that will work just as well. So these three colors, red, yellow, and blue, are special in the art world. These are our primary colors. Can you say primary? So our primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, are the colors that we mix to make every other color in the entire world. Every color is from red, yellow, and blue. So we're gonna do a little experiment to test out what colors might mix or might happen when we mix these colors together. So when you have your markers on your coffee filter or paper towel, flatten it out, put it on top of your piece of paper. Your piece of paper is going to catch some of the extra water from your paintbrush. So on your coffee filter or paper towel, pick one of your colors. It can be any color. And I want you to draw some lines on your coffee filter or paper towel. We've talked a lot about lines, so you know lots of different types of lines. When you're drawing your lines, I want you to make them thick and dark. Try to draw 3 or 4 lines with each marker. Let's just go ahead and say 4. Let's draw 4 lines with each color marker. They can be any type of line. You might already notice if your coffee filter moves like mine just did, some of the color is already coming onto your paper, and that is okay. So I've done my red. Now I need to add my blue and my yellow. Now when I add my blue and yellow, I want to make sure that they're near my other lines. Making sure they're nice and thick and juicy. And where should I put my last one? Maybe I'll put a dotted line right over here. And I'll go in my last color. With the yellow, make sure you're extra juicy with the yellow. Our yellows are harder to show up, so make sure that you are extra juicy with that yellow marker. Maybe make a really thick line. We've been talking about in art class about abstract art, which uses lines, shapes, and colors. You can see underneath my coffee filter on my paper, I'm already creating a little bit of abstract art. So I'll put my coffee filter back down. I made sure that somewhere on my coffee filter, my yellow and red are next to each other. My yellow and blue are next to each other. My blue and red are next to each other. I'm going to take my paintbrush, have it nice and wet. We want it to be wet for this. Usually when we use paint brushes in art class will squeeze the extra water out on the lip of our bucket. But today we want wet paintbrushes. Pretend this is watercolor. So I'm gonna hold my coffee filter down. I'm gonna take my paintbrush and I'm gonna color in, pretend like I'm coloring in this section between my yellow and my red. I'm gonna mix them together. Can anyone see what color is starting to appear? I'll move on across my section to blue and red right here. And then blue and yellow. And I'll go all the way around. I'm getting my paintbrush wet between each time. It's kind of a messy project. All right, so when I've gone through around my all over my coffee filter or my paper towel, I'm going to look closely in between the colors that I drew. So right here, I drew a red line and a blue line. Between those two colors, where they mixed, there's a new color. Can you guys see it? What color did the red and blue make? It made purple. So red plus blue equals purple. Right down here, I had some blue and some yellow, and those mixed. What's in between my blue and my yellow? It's green. So I've got blue and yellow make green. It's kind of right down here in the middle. And then again up here, I've got my yellow and my red. I feel like this one's hardest to see. Maybe you can see a little bit right here. A little bit right here. What did my yellow and red make? They made orange. So my primary colors, red, blue, and yellow, made new colors, whoops, orange, green, and purple. So when we look at the whole rainbow, I'm gonna leave my coffee filter on my paper. Oop, it went a little bit on my table. That's okay, a wet wipe will clean it right up. But if we look at the rainbow is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And I'll post a song to help you guys remember the order of the rainbow. But red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. This is the color of the rainbow. Red, yellow, and blue are my primary colors. And when they mix, they make the color in between them. So when red and yellow mix, they make orange. When yellow and blue mix, they make green. And then when blue and red mix, they make purple. So these are our primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, and our secondary colors, orange, green, and purple. So when your coffee filter or paper towel is dry, or more dry than it is now, you'll be able to peel it off, and you'll have a watercolor underneath your coffee filter. It works better if you use heavier paper. I use some thicker drawing paper for this. So if you have any thicker paper at home, maybe white construction paper, that would be best to use underneath your coffee filter. But I'll make sure I put that in the notes on Schoology. Have fun with this project. I hope that you guys have learned a lot, and I will see you soon. Adios.